some deep topics. Okay, Shankara. Yep.
Hello, Helen. Can you
Hi.
hear me?
I can, yeah.
Okay. What is this mechanism, or what is this belief that this I thinks is the doer or the thinker? What is that? Why? Why?
Why do you think it's here? Why do you think it arises, this sense?
I'm not sure, actually.
This body arises, this body forms, and then sense perception starts happening, and actions start happening in the body, and words, eventually language comes, and a more and more complex thought process. And the self that's appearing as this body mind, the infinite self, is fascinated with objects. It loves phenomena. It's just obsessed with watching phenomena. And it starts to try to figure out which one of those phenomena it is. And it looks at the particular body it seems to be looking through and says, this is me, this is me. And when it says, this is me, I am this body, this mind, then it kind of, a byproduct of that is it seems to take responsibility for everything that's happening in the body and mind. If this is me, then I must be the thinker too. If this is me, then I must be the doer of actions too. It's kind of an automatic add-on. Once I decided this is me, then everything that's happening here is me too. The thoughts are mine, they belong to me. Suddenly this idea of me and mine, this is me, and then I have me and mine, my thoughts, my karmic patterns, my emotions, my actions, my relationships, all of that comes in. Can you see that? That once you say that that body is you, everything that's going on in there is you also, isn't it? All of it, the thoughts and everything. Over time, this illusion gets so solidified because it keeps experiencing that. It thinks it's deciding through, and it thinks it's the thinker, that there's a thinker of thoughts. And that keeps getting reinforced back in its experience over and over again. The illusion gets more and more believed deeply. So then it thinks about how to get out of this trap, which only solidifies the idea even more that there's someone here thinking. It goes around like that for a very long time, doesn't it? Who knows how long, until it eventually comes to see, actually, there isn't a thinker. There's just thoughts going on. For a long time, the infinite self is fascinated with objects, usually thoughts. Sometimes so much so we're caught up in our heads, we don't even notice what objects are going out here, really. They're just passing, our life's passing us by. And then when it starts to sort of think about, is there actually a thinker? And realizes there isn't a thinker. Then it all starts to fall apart much quicker.
The thoughts, they seem so alive. They seem so like an entity, kind of, like this feeling of I, or I am this, I am that, I'm thinking this, I'm doing that. Even this, now I'm talking.
I'm talking. I'm talking, and then I'm listening, and I'm deciding what to say, and it's such as the power of habit, isn't it? And belief. You're infinitely powerful. You're the infinite power. And if you play with this idea that I'm deciding, it really feels very true, doesn't it? In that moment, really. But it's just a habit, nonetheless. Because if you say to me right now, for the rest of my life, I'm never going to speak another word. You might manage that for a certain amount of time, but at some point you're going to say something. Or I'm not going to blink my eyes. How long can you, I'm not going to use the bathroom for the rest of forever. You just have absolutely no control over that, right? It's just going to happen, whether you want it to or not. You can't stop blinking. You can't stop breathing. I used to try to do that as a child, right? I'm going to hold my breath. And I used to get really frustrated
Mm.
when I couldn't stop it. It just
Mm.
eventually start breathing again. And that's a good thing,
Mm.
obviously, but it's just such a, anything that you play with, any idea that you play with and believe, you experience it as extraordinarily real. That's why the illusion is so pervasive and convincing. The moment you
Mm.
believe you're someone, everything in the universe corresponds to that idea, right? To reinforce that idea.
Mm. Why did this occur? Occur like why did it show up like this belief of being some separate being, or why has do you know why it has been created, or what's the purpose? What's the purpose of believing to be a separate being, and then to find out that there's no separate being, there's only this one? What do you see your opinion
I
about
don't
that?
think there is a purpose.
There's no purpose.
No purpose. You could say maybe in each form it appears, when it appears as a single-celled amoeba, it can have a very rudimentary experience. And then it shows up as a plant. It can have a slightly more complex experience of itself. What's it like to be a plant? And then it's a turtle, and then it's a cat, and then it's a chimpanzee, and then it's a human being. And then whatever comes after human beings, whatever other, so as the forms evolve, it can have a more complex, deeper understanding of itself. In a human brain, in a human being, it can come to realize where it came from. It can realize what it really is, that it's not that form, that it is, the source. And that's the upside. The downside of that is, as it wants to question what it really is, the first answer it comes up with is this is what I really am. And it sticks there for a very long time. And it sorts everything in reality into me and not me. This is me and that's not me. Not me, not me, not me, not me. Me. My thoughts, me. So in the ability to have this deeper experience of itself, it also has this ability to get fixated on trying to define itself, understand itself. And it makes the erroneous assumption that I am this body and mind, and then gets stuck there for quite some time. Many body and minds come and go while that idea is still.
Okay. So there's
no reason behind it. If there is a reason, you could say, well, it's just because it wants to experience itself through it's playing with the shapes, it's playing with the forms. Even that's not really true.
No,
Evolution,
because it's not doing anything. It's not doing anything.
Yeah.
It's just here and observes, right?
Yeah. And the forms are just evolving, driven by this desire that life has to experience itself even more intimately. And that's the only reason we're showing up as human beings rather than a single-celled amoeba, because we can have a more intimate understanding of ourselves through a conversation like this than two amoebas can. But there's no purpose behind that. There's no why in the way that the mind would like. Or you could say it's why not? Why not? Let's experience ourselves every way we can, every form.
And then one question arises, what is that about the spiritual practice then? If I mean, there's there are masters, they say, you need to practice, and for my experience, practice is not needed, but still we are practicing, or I'm practicing, and it feels like sometimes very good, but you are right, we never reach the point of kind of enlightenment in the practice. But why does this?
The practicer, the doer of spiritual practice dissolves, isn't it?
Huh?
The doer of spiritual practice dissolves and leaves only the self. The idea that there's someone practicing. If there is a purpose for spiritual practice, it's that, isn't it? That I come to see that it's just going on by itself. Meditation is just happening.
Yes.
Self-inquiry is just happening. It's not driven by some entity that's trying to reach something. And gradually, bit by bit, the one that's trying to get there disappears. Because it's only thoughts anyway, right? It's only thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically,
So
no practice is needed because you're already that. But ironically, it's quite difficult to see that without practice, without thinning out the sense of a doer. That's what the practice does. It thins out this sense of I'm a someone. It just gets more and more vague and lighter and easier to see through.
So that one which thinks it's practicing just gradually dissolves by practicing.
Yeah.
Just the practicing is to dissolve the practitioner.
Yeah. Just that, right?
Just that.
I think Ramana said inquiry goes on until the inquirer has disappeared. I'm paraphrasing, but you know, that's when it stops. So it's an undoing really more than a doing, isn't it, in that way?
Yes.
If you spend enough time actually looking at reality, you lose your passion for imagining what's not true. Because you can't do both at the same time.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Okay. So we'll leave it there for tonight and Satsang. Thank you for your the questions that you sent in and for the questions you've asked here tonight. Some difficult and challenging subjects, but nonetheless good to talk about. So thank you for putting your own awakening first above everything else you could be doing with this time. Namaste.